To start off this video, we are continuing our Family Feud theme because we need some Family Feud answers. As always, though, if you are interested in the pun, it's going to be in the outro after our Shiograph outro scene. However, the survey is, I ask 100 ESO players which feature in ESO they disliked the most. So head down to the comments, not only peruse what other people are saying, but let me know what feature in ESO you dislike the most. That way, when we challenge other content creators, potentially my friends, we will see what answers they come up with and see if they line up with yours. What's going on, YouTube? Back to your regularly scheduled program on the weekend. We're inside of Cold Harbor, inside of the Hollow City, to go over the cool items that are here this week. And as you can see, we've got the Dark Elf theme. Is the Dark Elf theme profitable? The answer to that question is, kinda. There's actually some really neat items here. Would you consider that this really cool thing, you can literally light the flames to Gondor and tell them you're in need of aid for 6,000 gold? That's a great deal. You get yourself another candle, and you get yourself some kind of tacky rugs. So the items here have a decent range. What I would just remind you of is that the purchase price for a lot of these items for low, definitely though, the pyre is probably the high tier item this week. You could either sell this item, hold on to this item, or use it for yourself. I think this is probably the best item here. Some of these things though, when you look at them, you just think to yourself, 800 gold, you probably could sell that in the future for a little bit more. And this guy's holding an Elder Scroll, and those are always usually pretty popular itself too. So good items this week, but let's go into the next golden. And so here we are inside of Cyrodiil to go over the Golden Vendor. Now, a question that I thought was super interesting on one of my videos, because we're going to do this as a reveal. You know, we're going to get excited based on the sets that are here, the possibilities of things. One of you guys was like, what sets do you hope that are in here, Jake? What do you want to see? And the answer to that is actually very fascinating, because I usually don't think of it in that way. I don't think backwards. I think forward. So, for example, some people might think I'm really hoping that Balorghs is in this set. You know, I'm really hoping that they throw Balorghs into the Golden Vendor, therefore I can get it, and then that's a set that I've always wanted. I like to work reversely. I like to go, this is in the Golden Vendor, therefore I should use this week to experiment with these sets. Maybe I might find this interesting. Just because I have the impression of, if I really wanted to get Balorghs, I would, go and get it. If I needed to grind out, keys, even though I'm not a huge fan of farming Undaunted keys these days, I would go through that process if I had to. But let's go into and see what we got this week. And so starting us off, let's see what we got ourselves here. Oh, we're going to start off with the monster sets. Got ourselves a head, and it's Bloodspawn. So Bloodspawn is not something that people find generally particularly exciting, in my opinion. However, if you think about it as one of the best in slots monster sets, it's pretty good. However, because it's a helmet, you could just farm Spindle Clutch, and it's one of the easiest dungeons in the game. However, it is still an exciting set, and if you're like, man, Jake, I want to use this as an opportunity because you're highlighting the set to go get it, you should do that. Should you buy it? Probably not. And just below that, what do we got ourselves? We actually can't even see it. It's too far down. Oh, we got Slime Crawl. Now, Slime Crawl doesn't get enough credit for what it is. Slime Crawl gives you the #1 amount of crit chance that you can get for a one-piece set. What do you mean one piece, Jake? Don't I want both of these pieces? Well, not necessarily. There are these things called mythics. Mythics are generally pretty cool, and people generally want to wear them, whether it's for PvE, PvP type content. So having a really good one piece, even though you're not getting the full set bonus, you're still getting a pretty good one piece bonus, which for this is going to get yourself the highest amount of crit chance you can get for a one-piece monster set. Also, it's exceptionally easy to farm, Wayrest Sewer, so I would generally encourage you guys to just go do it that way. But overall, though, it's still a pretty decent set. And then, so now we're going to move on to rings. Always love rings. Why rings, Jake? Well, generally people have to wear 2 of them. So if you either want to get yourself 2 decked out golden rings, it's always nice to have rings as the option. Or they also usually sell higher because people need double the amount of them that they do versus necklaces. And we got ourselves Heaty's ring, which I don't know if I'm familiar with. When you heal yourself or an ally with an ability, gain warning Aurora for 10 seconds. That's warming Aurora. You and your group members restore 1440 health for 2 seconds and reduce the cost of sprint, block, roll, dodge, by 5%. This is going to occur every 12 seconds. This just gives off what I call ball group vibes. Jake, what's a ball group? Also, I've accidentally tweaked that down there. Just move that back up. Shh, you didn't see that. And so a ball group is basically a bunch of little hooligans that go to Cyrodiil and they wear sets that are compatible together. It's kind of like a puzzle. You know, I wear sets that give you a certain buff, you wear sets that give me a certain buff, and we're able to kind of crunch through, get a lot more kills effectively in Cyrodiil because we're all bouncing off of each other to create that kind of really nice puzzle piece type set combo. Heaties, it looks like could be a really good set to go into that combination. I don't know how effective this is versus a lot of other sets that can go into that, but considering it's an unnamed buff, it usually bodes well for it. What's an unnamed buff? An unnamed buff is something, you know, for example, if you say you got Minor Berserk, you're a Minor Berserker, you know, you can't get Minor Berserker twice, you can only be one Minor Berserker, but you could be a Minor and a Major Berserker, or you could be a Minor Berserker, a Major Berserker, and if you got some other buff that's unnamed, you can have all three of those things. So that's why stacking buffs is in specific ways can be important. We kind of accidentally already revealed it, and that is Knights Errant. Adds 450 weapon and spell damage to your one-handed and shield abilities. When you use a one-handed shield ability, you heal for 1875. It's okay. So here's the problem with sets like these. Now, they could find utilization in PvP because healing for a fixed amount of health like that is pretty decent, and having weapon and spell damage is pretty good. Here's why this doesn't work for PvE, and this I think confuses a lot of people. PvE generally, as a tank, your goal is not just to live. That sounds really redundant, but follow me here. Generally, as a tank, it's actually more effective for you to give buffs to your teammates so they kill everything faster. So the faster things die, the less that you have to heal yourself, the less that you have to really focus on staying alive, because your teammates are getting through all these mechanics, and there's things, you know, where you can skip whole mechanics in dungeons that might be one hits, that might require you to do goofy things. You can pass through all of those by killing things faster. This is not a set that's really going to go into that mindset for you, unfortunately. I could see some PvP utilization for this, though, because there are some interesting set combos where people with one-handed and shields can do interesting things, but generally they're going to bar swap when they are looking to actually kill you. They're not going to kill you generally when they have a weapon and a one-handed ability out. So that's where it becomes a little bit less, in my opinion, but still, it's a pretty unique set. And resetting ourselves here, we're going to go down one and then slide. And we got Ring of the Ranger, which means I'm going to need to slide this up so I don't block and show the other one. So what this does is reduce the effectiveness of snares applied to you by 50%. Not exciting, unfortunately. I wish that this did something a little bit cooler. I mean, it does also give you 129 stamina recovery, but does that excite you? Probably not. And finally, I think this will be the last one if my math is correct, and we have Witch Knights. Witch Knights is actually a really interesting and cool set. So here's why this is so cool. And if you can see it originally and you haven't heard me talk about this set before, you might not know why. This is from the Reach, so you could sell this probably for some decent money, especially if you're on PC. We can actually now turn off our little thing now because we're done. So here's why this is cool. It's the only 4-piece set that gives you weapon and spell, weapon and spell, weapon and spell. So some people use this as a 4-piece, and then they combine it with a full monster set and then potentially a mythical and another 5-piece set. So it really is fun for crafting sets in different ways. Or you might split and have, you know, your front bar. You know, you might have a 4-piece on one bar, you know, 5-piece on another. There's so many unique things that people do with this set because of that. And if you're looking at, you know, some of the sets like the Marken Ring, this set actually goes pretty well with sets like the Marken Ring. But it also increases your weapon and stealth damage by 369 against enemies inflicted with poison damage effect. Here's the other thing too, is that doesn't have to be your poison. That's where I think a lot of people got caught up, you know, because I mean, you could poison somebody and blah, 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 blah. But if they're just generally poisoned, you can do a decent chunk of damage to them. And if you're in PvP, poison's pretty common, and you can inflict it pretty commonly. So this is actually a really cool set to sell and to use. I actually use a set like this on one of my Nightblades, and I can encourage you guys to actually get this set because I really do like it. But everyone, let me know what you guys think. Also, are you guys liking the idea of Family Feud? It's also going to tie into our new giveaway drawing. So instead of the traditional giveaway drawings, we're going to shake things up a little bit, a little more razzle-dazzle here. So we're going to play random subscriber as always, because I think that I really just want the subscriber numbers to go up. Please, I love all of you. The second thing, though, is if you answer my Family Feud question at the beginning of the video, well, you are now entered because I need a lot of respondents. So any comments that I don't receive up to 100, I have to go out and seek. I have to go to things like Facebook and Reddit, just crazy places. I don't want to have to go there if I can avoid it. So answering that will help me greatly. And then the third thing is a random word be flashed upon screen. We'll give you the hint, though, because you watched this video, and I promised it to you guys because I'm a dum-dum. It was late last month. I'm going to post it on the video over the weekend. I don't know if it'll be made Saturday or Sunday, but the word will be flashed randomly, but it's going to be secretive because a lot of you guys are probably watching this, so I'm going to hide it. It's going to be flashed upon the screen with a small audio key, maybe like a caw, something small. But thank you guys so much again. Have a great weekend, and I love you. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
You guys might not know this about me, but I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but turned myself around.